It's Thursday, August 8. In the headlines, calls for action to end violence against children. In business news, notable companies declare dividends. Regionally, Belize campaigns to end child marriages. And in sports, Roger Stoner makes history with discus gold and Olympic record at the Paris Games. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Dr. Kassan Troop, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education and Youth, has called for collective action to end violence against children. Speaking on behalf of Portfolio Minister Favour Williams, she delivered the keynote address at Wednesday's National Preparatory Session for the Global Ministerial Conference on Ending Violence Against Children. Denita Rodney tells us more.
Violence is not a one-man band. It's global, and it will take an interministerial, global partnership and approach to end what is happening to our children.
That was the Education Ministry's Permanent Secretary, Dr. Kassan Troop. Speaking at the National Preparatory Session for the Global Ministerial Conference on Ending Violence Against Children, she emphasized the important role of parents, urging them to attend parent empowerment sessions and utilize psychological support services available in schools, churches, communities, and NGOs.
It will take all of us in our small corner. So it's not just about the legislation, it's not about the programs. And you will hear every day people call, we need this, we need that, we need civics, we need character education, and we have bits and pieces, and we pull it out and we start again. And you'll realize that's not the panacea. It's a collective. It is a collective. Every piece will have to come together. Every jackman in this room will have to speak up and speak out. All of us, we have to be brave when we see what's happening to our children. Do not turn a blind eye. You don't know where that child will end up. And so we all have to take responsibility. It's a collective responsibility.
Child Protection and Family Services Agency CEO Lorette Adams Thomas emphasized that the preparatory session is a key step in Jamaica's effort to achieve Sustainable Development Goal 16.2, aimed at ending violence and abuse against children.
Today's National Preparatory Session serves as a vital platform for us to collectively examine our progress, to identify our challenges, and to set ambitious yet achievable goals for our nation. Our discussions today will shape the national narrative that we present on the global stage, highlighting Jamaica's successes and outlining our enhanced commitment to ending violence against children.
Mrs. Adams added that the discussions will also result in defining the key actions necessary to scale up priority programs that will ensure that every Jamaican child can grow up in a safe and nurturing environment. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I am Denita Rodney.
Tourism Minister Ed Bartlett, CD, and Professor Wendell Abel, OD, are among 150 Jamaicans set to be recognized by the government with honors and awards for outstanding service in various fields on National Heroes Day in October. Minister Bartlett is to be conferred with the Order of Jamaica for invaluable contribution to the field of tourism, promoting human resource sustainability and climate resilience, while Professor Wendell Abel will be conferred with the Order of Jamaica for outstanding and invaluable contribution to psychiatry, particularly in the area of mental and community health. 30 persons will be conferred with the Order of Distinction in the rank of Commander, 38 the Order of Distinction in the rank of Officer, OD, 2 the Badge of Honor for Gallantry, and 35 will be given the Badge of Honor for Meritorious Service, and 36 the Badge of Honor for Long and Faithful Service. Chairman of the Economic Program Oversight Committee, EPOC, Keith Duncan, is calling on the Bank of Jamaica to ease interest rates in a bid to cushion the potential economic fallout of Hurricane Beryl. The country has experienced 11 consecutive quarters of economic growth since recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic. Before the impact of Storm Beryl, the economy was projected to grow by an average of 1.8% the current fiscal year. However, Mr. Duncan predicts that GDP will decline in the second quarter of 2024 due to the storm, potentially leading the rise in inflation.
GDP levels were projected at 1.8% for the fiscal year by the GOJ. However, GDP is likely to move into negative territory in quarter two and negative impact growth projections for the year. There will be a temporary uptick in inflation, and we expect that inflation should trend back into the target range of 4 to 6%. In light of the impact on Beryl, the Bank of Jamaica should look to ease monetary policy and to bring forward a planned reduction in interest rates in the very short term to give the economy, businesses, and the consumers the breathing room and the ability to drive the recovery effort.
Chartered accountant Dennis Chung believes that Jamaica cannot sustain the current high interest rates following Hurricane Beryl. He agrees that the Bank of Jamaica should consider lowering interest rates to avoid the risk of the country entering a recession.
The fact of the matter is that one of the things we can't afford to do is have interest rate elevated for too long. You'd have seen what happened in the 1990s in Jamaica. It was a high interest rate regime that led to the FinSac operations that happened. So we have to strike a balance between controlling inflation, which has been stubbornly high for a little while, but also ensuring that the economy don't get to a point where it gets too weak, that it goes into a deep recession. And if we continue with the high interest rates, I think it's going to happen. That's going to go into a recession because it means that people are not going to be able to pay their mortgages, people are not going to be able to pay car loans, consumer spending is going to go down, and if consumer spending go down, then jobs go, then you have a problem.
Dismissing concerns that the reducing interest rates could lead to higher inflation, arguing that any price increases would be temporary, Mr. Chung says he believes the government should implement fiscal policies to better control inflation.
What we should be looking at as a country is how can we use fiscal policy to control inflation. I don't think we've tried enough of that because inflation in Jamaica is driven in many respects by the foreign exchange rate, right? How can we use fiscal policy? And I've always maintained, the oil import, the whole matter of public transportation. Those are things from a point of view that we should be looking at to use to control inflation. But my fear is that the procurement process and systems is going to hold that up. We're not going to be able to do it. But the fact is that we can't maintain interest rates at the level they are. The market has had some indication that they're coming down.
A credit card is a ready cash loan with minimal fees involved. If used correctly, it can help you budget through prioritizing what you pay for immediately and what you repay over a longer, ideally interest-free period. Financial expert and CEO of Profit Jumpstart, Keisha Bailey, tells us more about annual fees and how to choose the right card for you in part 2 of this JIS feature.
So when we talk about the bagger credit cards, and some people have 3, 5, 10 cards, you see them backing out these fat wallets, fat purses with a lot of credit cards. We don't necessarily want to be in that position. Why? Credit cards have annual fees. And if you have 10 credit cards, that means 10 annual fees. That really does add up. Get a set of cards, maybe 1 or 2 cards maximum that fit your budget and your lifestyle. Do you need 10 cards? No. The fact that you have 10 cards indicates that you may have a spending problem. And that's a bigger issue that you want to work through. Don't work through it with the cards. Work through it by being disciplined and sticking to a budget.
Make money, money, make money, money, money. Make money, money, make money, money, money.
The cash advances are not a popular thing. A lot of persons go and they push in the credit card into the ATM and pull cash out. Nice, because we're getting other people's money, but bad because cash advances have a very high interest rate tied to them. And even with some banks, the cash advance, you will never stop paying interest. A better option can be just going to get a short-term loan or going to a friend or family member and borrowing the money from them over the short term. When we're thinking about which credit card we want, it can first come to the bank that you do most of your transaction with. Speak to them about the different suites of credit cards that they have and the benefits. Plus, with credit cards these days, they have a lot of benefits tied to them. So when you go on the bank's website and you see all the credit cards that are there, you can pick which one works best with your lifestyle. You can shop around and find one of the lowest interest rates out there associated with the card and pick that one.
In the business report, several notable companies have declared dividends which form passive income for investors. Express Catering Limited has declared a dividend per share payable on October 31, 2024 to shareholders on record as at August 20, 2024. Mayberry Group Limited has declared a dividend of 0.125 per share payable on August 30, 2024 to shareholders on record as at August 16, 2024. The ex-dividend date is August 16, 2024. Access Financial Services Limited has advised that a meeting of its board of directors to be held on August 13, an interim dividend payment will be considered then. Time now for the latest market updates with Denise Williams.
During trading for period of August 7, 2024, the following companies represent the top 3 most active stocks that investors bought and sold on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. The following companies represent the overall volume leaders. Alternative energy provider Wigton Wind Farm Limited ordinary shares with 3,655,772 units represent 23.6% of the market value in terms of sales. PVC pipe manufacturer Omni Industries Limited with 2,170,393 units representing 13.93% of the market value in terms of sales. Gas station and automotive fluid distributor Regency Petroleum Company Limited with 1,627,087 units representing 10.44% of the market value in terms of sales. Moving from the money moves of investors, executives, and companies, we turn to the Forex market. On August 7, 2024, the Bank of Jamaica reported that US $136.33 million was bought from Forex traders, while US $115.12 million was sold to Forex traders. Buying directly from the Bank of Jamaica, foreign currency traders sold the US dollar for $157.81 and bought US dollars for $155.73. The difference between the buy and sell rate was $2.08, which represents a profit for Forex traders for every US dollar traded. Canadian Forex traders earned a trading profit of $1.33 from transactions with the Bank of Jamaica. The Canadian dollar was sold at $113.79 and bought for $112.46. For traders looking at the British pound, they pocketed a profit of $8.77, selling it for $201.46 and buying it for $199.09. For our credit report tip of the day, we continue to put the spotlight on the impact of unemployment on your credit and give suggestions on how to rebuild. Okay? So what we're looking at now is using credit responsibly. So consider applying for a secured credit card if you can't qualify for a traditional one, and keep your credit utilization low. meaning don't spend more than 30% of your limit. Also consider a credit builder loan. These small loans from credit unions can help rebuild your credit. The money is held in a bank account while you make payments, and you receive the funds once the loan is paid off.
In regional news, St. Lucia has launched a new adult education program aimed at boosting job skills and economic opportunities. The initiative, funded by the European Union, will provide vocational training and certification to 150 participants, with a focus on creating a more skilled workforce to meet the demands of the private sector.
The National Enrichment and Learning Unit, NELU, in St. Lucia has launched a new adult education program aimed at providing vocational training and certification. The program aims to create a more skilled workforce and increase employment opportunities for participants across St. Lucia. Dr. Cynthia Polius-Prescott, coordinator of the JEPSED program, touts the transformative potential of the initiative.
Consider yourselves as eagles. The JEPSED program is your sky, your opportunity to spread your wings, navigate and explore your full potential. The JEPSED program aims at providing youth with the knowledge, skills, and attitudes that they need to enhance their employability and career prospects, be successful in the job market, and achieve economic stability.
The National Enrichment and Learning Unit, NELU, is implementing the generation of employment through private sector development program. Macrianne Modest, education officer for NELU, encouraged learners to persevere.
You have overcome. You are an overcomer. You know what it takes to overcome these challenges. Measures will be put in place to assist you to overcome these challenges when you have to face it. All you need to do is to talk to us. There needs to be clear communication. Do not just get up and give up. Strive hard for what you want. Keep your eyes on the prize. Be determined to finish what you have started today. Remember that you are privileged. You are one of the 150 learners in this project. There are so many others out there who wish they had your opportunity. You have been given this chance. Grab it, grasp it, hold it.
Participants will work towards Caribbean Vocational Qualifications or National Vocational Qualifications. Funded by a EU grant, the program aims to increase and create a skilled workforce. Dr. Polius-Prescott stressed the value of these certifications.
This initiative aligns with the ministry's strong push for TVET education, and we are confident that you, the beneficiaries, will greatly benefit from this opportunity. Under the JEPSED program, the NELU will be training 150 disadvantaged or disabled young persons between the ages of 15 to 45 years in technical, vocational areas, leading to CVQ and NVQ certification. The program includes soft skills or essential skills training, internship, and entrepreneurship development. The training will run for a minimum of 10 months from August 2024 to May 2025 and will be delivered through virtual and face-to-face modalities.
The program is a collaborative effort between NELU, the Office of the National Authorizing Officer, and other stakeholders with the goal of enhancing youth employability and contributing to economic development. Joachim Duplessis, HTS News Force.
The time to end child marriage in Belize is now. That is one of the mottos of the End Child Marriage in Belize campaign that was launched by the Ministry of Human Development and its partners. The campaign seeks to increase the age of marital eligibility from 16 years to 18. On Wednesday, the key stakeholders of the campaign gathered to discuss the proposed changes to the legislation that permits children to marry and the importance of acting on the matter. News 5's Brittany Gordon was there to learn more about this issue in Belize.
If you are asked whether you know any minors currently married to or in a union with an adult, would the answer be yes? Chances are it is, because 1 out of every 5 girls aged 15 to 19 in Belize is in that very situation. As of 16 years old, teenagers are legally allowed to get married with parental consent. That is the law the Ministry of Human Development and its partners are seeking to change by raising the legal age to at least 18. Shakira Sutherland, Executive Director of the National Children and Families Commission, explained that this campaign was born from a call to action from participants of the National Children's Parliament last year.
So the campaign is to showcase the information that we have in regards to the legal aspect of it. So what we're trying to do is that we're trying to increase the age of marriage, the legal age, from 16 to 18. And this stemmed from the National Children's Parliament last year. So the bill from the children was that they wanted to end child marriage, and the objective was to increase the age. Not only last year's Parliament, but the year before, talks about vocational studies, and then the previous year about child justice. And so it is just to showcase that we at NCFC are working diligently to allow the children's voices to be heard, working with other stakeholders.
The campaign is being spearheaded by the Ministry of Human Development and is supported by partners such as the National Women's Commission. Minister of Human Development Dolores Balderramos Garcia says that she is also grateful for the support of the church.
As I mentioned today, and we're very happy that many of the church leaders have joined us this morning, I mentioned that no disrespect at all to the sanctity of marriage from the religious perspective, but that you are married not because you might go into a church, but you're married because you sign a contract. You see? Signing a contract is when you're married, because you go to church, but it is the signing and the sending of that marriage signature to the Vital Statistics Unit, and it is recorded. That is when you're married. And I don't believe that anyone under the age of 18 should be allowed to sign a contract.
The campaign emphasizes the belief that child marriage is a human rights violation and a form of gender-based violence. Beverly Lemon Castillo is a survivor of several forms of violence, including child abuse and rape. She uses her story of overcoming such trials to empower children and adults. Castillo shares her observations from working with children in similar situations.
Most children just keep it in, and then they go out there in the streets and do just things that is not appropriate, or things that I wouldn't say they're doing. It is bad, but it is things that they're doing that they're not aware of, because that's normal for them. A lot of children do what is normal for them. And I talk about rehabilitation and habilitation. Rehabilitation is return to your normal state of being. Habilitation is to give the tools necessary to function in everyday life.
In Antigua and Barbuda, as the countdown continues to start the new school year, there is a call from medical experts for a collaborative approach to ensure children are equipped to deal with any mental health challenges. Brianna Anthony reports.
As the new school year approaches, the medical fraternity is intensifying efforts to highlight the significance of both physical and mental wellness in children. Pediatrician, Island Kids Medical Center, Dr. Tessie Fenton Lee, highlights the critical role that exercise, proper nutrition, and mental health support play in a child's development.
Just like adults need annual checkups, children should get annual checkups too, making sure that their blood count is adequate, because if you're not physically intact, mentally you're affected, you're unable to concentrate.
She notes that there has been a significant increase in the number of children experiencing mental health challenges in Antigua and Barbuda.
We have noticed that mentally, that a lot of our children are affected right now. children have feelings, they have thoughts, they see what's happening in the environment, so we need to talk to them. And sometimes we lack that part. How is my child feeling? How do you feel about this? What do you want? And it's not about spoiling a child, to telling them, let them tell you how they're feeling. We have to communicate with them.
Dr. Claudine Richardson, a pediatrician at the center, offers practical strategies for alleviating and managing anxiety in children and their parents.
Start with the parent. You have to be calm. You have to be prepared as well. Some of the preparations that can be done, especially for children who are going to school for the first time, so your preschool children or you have changed schools, you can get in contact with the schools, see what they have available for you to communicate better with them, for you to introduce maybe the teacher or the environment that the child is going to be in.
By working together and creating a supportive environment, families can help children approach the school year with confidence and ease. Implementing these expert recommendations can assist in mitigating anxiety, setting the stage for a successful and less stressful school year. Brian Anthony for ABS News.
In sports, accolades continue to pour in for Roger Stoner, who marked a historic moment for Jamaican sports on Wednesday. Roger secured the nation's first gold medal at the Paris Olympic Games, making history as Jamaica's first ever Olympic gold medalist in the throws. Competing at the Stade de France, Stoner delivered a stunning performance in his Olympic debut, setting a new Olympic record with a throw of 70 meters. This remarkable achievement not only earned him the top spot on the podium, but also made him a national hero. Stoner's victory came in a world-class field, outthrowing world record holder Mikolos Alikna of Lithuania and Australia's Matthew Denny. Fellow Jamaicans Ralford Mullings and Travis Michael finished 9th and 10th. Stoner, who has trained under three-time Olympic shot put champion Ryan Cruiser, was praised by teammate Travis Smykel for his dedication and hard work. Jamaica, known for its sprinting dominance, now celebrates a new chapter in its athletic history, with 4 out of 5 medals at the Paris Games coming from field events. Jamaica's success in the throws, jumps, and sprints signals a bright future for the island in a wider range of sports. On Thursday, the women's 4x100 meters relay team consisted of Alana Reid, Kemba Nelson, and Sasha Lee Forbes, as well as Tia Clayton, advanced to the final of the Paris Olympics, placing 3rd in their heat in 42.35 seconds. With the absence of Sharika Jackson and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, both out with injuries, the coaching staff called on 2 teenagers in their Olympic debuts to bookend the team, Reid starting and 100-meter finalist Clayton on the anchor. It took a strong anchor leg from Clayton, however, to get Jamaica into an automatic qualifying spot behind Great Britain, 42.03 seconds, and France, 42.13 seconds. That's the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Remember, we are the People's Station.